Here's where buyer attention is going in Hampton Roads right now. And if you're thinking about selling a home in Virginia Beach or Chesapeake, this is something you really need to understand. Because buyers are not just comparing your house to the one down the street, they are comparing your house to an entire city. They are comparing Virginia Beach to Chesapeake. They are comparing commute time, schools, yard size, neighborhood feel, traffic patterns, lifestyle, restaurants, shopping, beach access, military bases, job centers, and what their day-to-day life is actually going to feel like. And that matters because when a buyer walks through your home, they not only are asking, do I like this kitchen, or is this house big enough? They are also asking, do I like the life this location gives me? Now that is where a lot of sellers miss the mark. A seller may look at their home and say, well, we have 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, a nice kitchen, and a good sized yard. But a buyer may be comparing that home to a house in another city that offers a shorter commute, a different neighborhood feel, more space, less traffic, or a lifestyle that better fits their family. So in this video, I'm going to break down Virginia Beach versus Chesapeake from a seller's point of view. Not to say one city is better than the other. That is not the point here. The point is this: each city wins for different reasons. And if you're selling, you need to understand what your city is winning on, what it may be losing on, and how to position your home so buyers see the value clearly. Because in Hampton Roads, buyers usually are choosing lifestyle first and house second. And if you understand that, you can market your home a whole lot smarter. Now, here in the first part, we're going to talk about buyers are not just shopping for a house. So let's start with something simple. Most sellers think buyers are mainly shopping for square footage, bedrooms, bathrooms, updates, and price. And yes, those things absolutely matter. But that is not the whole picture. A buyer may start their search by saying, we want a 4-bedroom home under a certain price. But once they start looking around Hampton Roads, that search usually becomes more emotional and more practical. They start asking questions like, how far is this from work? How bad is the traffic? How close are we to the beach? How close are we to shopping and restaurants? What does the neighborhood feel like after work? Are the streets quiet? Is there room for the kids? Is there room for the dogs? Can we get more house for the money somewhere else? That is why Virginia Beach and Chesapeake get compared so often. They are close enough that buyers can realistically look in both places, but different enough that the lifestyle feels very different. Because often Virginia Beach attracts buyers because of the lifestyle, the coastal feel, the beach access, the established neighborhoods, the military convenience, and the energy of the city. And Chesapeake often attracts buyers because of the space, the suburban feel, the newer feeling communities in many areas, the yard sizes, and the slightly different pace of life. Again, one is not better than the other. They are just different. And buyers are paying close attention to that. So if you are selling in Virginia Beach, you are not just comparing against other Virginia Beach homes. You may be competing against Chesapeake homes that offer more space or a quieter suburban setting. And if you are selling in Chesapeake, you are not just competing against other Chesapeake homes. You may be competing against Virginia Beach homes that offer a stronger lifestyle pool, closer beach access, or more convenience to certain parts of Hampton Roads. That means your marketing cannot just say beautiful home with 4 bedrooms. That is not enough anymore. You have to show the buyer why this location makes sense. All right, number 2, what Virginia Beach often wins on. Now let's talk about Virginia Beach first here. Virginia Beach has a strong emotional pull. That is one of its biggest advantages. Even when buyers are not buying directly at the oceanfront, the name Virginia Beach carries weight. People think of the beach, coastal living, restaurants, events, military access, shopping, established neighborhoods, and a lifestyle that feels active. For many buyers, Virginia Beach feels like a place where there is always something nearby. You have the oceanfront, you have Town Center, you have Great Neck, Red Mill, you have Ocean Lakes, you have Kempsville, and you have Salem. Then you have Pungo, Sandbridge, you have Chicks Beach. You have all these different pockets that offer different versions of Virginia Beach living. That is one of the strengths of Virginia Beach. It is not just one type of buyer. Some buyers want the beach lifestyle. Some want schools and suburbs. Some want a military-friendly location. And some want land or more rural feel toward Pungo. Some want the convenience and shopping, while others want a neighborhood that feels established and mature. For sellers, that matters because you need to know what part of Virginia Beach your home is really selling. Now, a home near the oceanfront is selling lifestyle. A home in Great Neck may be selling location, schools, convenience, and established value. A home in Red Mill or Ocean Lakes may be selling access, neighborhood feel, and family convenience. And a home in Pungo may be selling land, privacy, rural feel, and space. The mistake sellers make is they only market the house. They forget to market the pocket. And in Virginia Beach, the pockets matter. Buyers may not just be buying your floor plan. They may be buying the ability to be closer to the beach, closer to military bases, closer to restaurants, certain schools, or closer to the lifestyle they had in mind when they started looking. So if you're selling in Virginia Beach, your listing needs to answer this question. Why would a buyer choose this part of Virginia Beach instead of going to Chesapeake for more space? Now that is a very powerful question. Because if a buyer feels like they can get more house in Chesapeake, then your Virginia Beach home has to make the lifestyle value obvious. That may mean highlighting commute convenience. It may mean highlighting nearby parks. It may be highlighting the neighborhood feel. It may mean showing how close the home is to the beach, bases, shopping, or daily needs. It may mean creating a listing description, video, photos, and social media marketing that do not just show the kitchen and bathrooms, but also show why the location works. Virginia Beach sellers need to understand that lifestyle is one of their strongest cards, but you have to play that card clearly. Now, number 3, what Chesapeake often wins on. Now let's talk about Chesapeake. Chesapeake has a different kind of pull. Excuse me. For a lot of buyers, Chesapeake feels like space, neighborhoods, family yards, quiet streets, and a little more breathing room. Many buyers who compare Virginia Beach and Chesapeake are asking themselves, can I get more house, a bigger yard? Can I get a quieter neighborhood? Can I get a different commute? And can I get a newer feeling home or community? Maybe a little more separation from the beach traffic and tourist areas. That is where Chesapeake often stands out. Neighborhoods and areas like Great Bridge, Hickory, Grassfield, Greenbrier, Deep Creek, Western Branch, and other parts of Chesapeake all have different buyer appeal. Some buyers want school district appeal. Some want a larger lot. Some want a more suburban feel, while some want access to major roads. Some may want to be closer to Greenbrier shopping and business areas, while others want the rural feel of Hickory and southern Chesapeake. And some want that balance where there are still in Hampton Roads, but not in the middle of the busier Virginia Beach lifestyle. Now, for sellers in Chesapeake, your advantage is often space, practicality, and pace. But here is the catch. If a buyer is also considering Virginia Beach, Your Chesapeake home has to clearly show what they gain by choosing Chesapeake. Maybe they gain more yard. Maybe they gain a quieter subdivision. Or maybe they gain a better layout for the money. Maybe they gain a home office. Maybe they gain a garage space. Or maybe they gain access to a different school zone. Or they gain access to tourist-driven lifestyle. Whatever it is, that needs to be part of the marketing. Because Chesapeake does not always win on beach lifestyle. It often wins on day-to-day living. And that is a strong selling point if it is presented the right way. Now, a lot of buyers do not want to feel like they are just buying four walls. They want to feel like the home solves their daily problems. They want an easier morning. They want less stress. They want a neighborhood that fits their family. They want space for their kids, pets, hobbies, or work from home setup. That is where Chesapeake sellers can really position their home well. But again, the mistake is only talking about granite counters, flooring, paint, and square footage. Those things matter, but the lifestyle story matters too. And if your Chesapeake home offers a bigger yard, a quieter street, flexible floor plan, or a great location for everyday life, that needs to be brought forward in the marketing plan. Now, number 4 is why this matters for pricing. Now, here is where this gets real for sellers. This city versus city comparison affects pricing. A lot of sellers only look at homes that sold in their immediate neighborhood. That is important. You absolutely need comparable sales, but you also need to understand buyer alternatives, because buyers are not always thinking like appraisers. Appraisers look at comparable sales, but buyers look at options. A buyer may say, for this price in Virginia Beach, I can get this home. Then they may say, but for the same price in Chesapeake, I can get more square footage, a larger yard, or a newer home. Or the opposite may happen. A buyer may say, this Chesapeake home is nice, but for a little more money, I can be closer to the beach, closer to base, or closer to the lifestyle I really want in Virginia Beach. Now, that is why pricing is not just about what's sold around you. It is also about what buyers can choose instead of you. And if your home is priced at the top of the market, buyers are going to compare it harshly. They are going to ask, what else can I get? And in Hampton Roads, the answer may be in another city. That is why sellers have to be careful. You cannot price like your home exists in a vacuum, because it doesn't. Your home is sitting in a marketplace where buyers have choices. Now, they can look in Virginia Beach. They can look in Chesapeake. They can even look in Norfolk. They can look in Suffolk. Or they can look in Portsmouth. They can also look in Moyock or parts of Northeast North Carolina, depending on their needs. So if you are selling, your pricing strategy needs to take into account more than just your neighborhood. It needs to take into account buyer behavior. Who is most likely to buy your home? Where else are they looking? What are they comparing you against? What would make them choose your home over the next option? That is where good pricing and positioning strategy come into play. The best listing strategy is not just let's list high and see what happens. That can be dangerous. Because buyers compare your home to better position alternatives your home may sit. And once it sits, buyers start wondering what is wrong with it. That is why understanding Virginia Beach versus Chesapeake matters so much. It helps sellers understand the bigger competition. Now, number 5 is the commute factor. One of the biggest reasons buyers compare Virginia Beach and Chesapeake is commute. In Hampton Roads, commute can make or break a home search. A home may look great online, but if the commute does not work, buyers may rule it out. Military buyers may care about access to bases, while people working in Norfolk may care about tunnel traffic, interstate access, and daily drive time. Buyers working in Chesapeake may not want to drive across the region every day. Buyers working in Virginia Beach may want to stay closer to the city. And buyers who work from home may care less about commute and more about space, office layout, or neighborhood feel. That means sellers need to know what kind of buyer their home is most likely to attract. If your home is in Virginia Beach and it's convenient to military bases, the oceanfront, town center, or key work areas, that should be part of the marketing. If your home is in Chesapeake and offers good access to major roads, Greenbrier, Great Bridge, or Southern Chesapeake, that should be part of the story. The commute is not just a detail. It is often one of the main buying decisions, and sellers sometimes overlook that. They assume buyers will just like the house, but buyers are imagining Monday morning. They are imagining school drop-offs. They are imagining traffic, grocery runs, or getting home after work. They are imagining whether this house makes life easier or harder. So when you market your home, you need to help buyers see the practical value. Not by making claims you cannot back up, or not by overpromising, but by showing the location clearly. Mention nearby roads, areas, mention convenience points, show the neighborhood feel. Help the buyer picture real life. That is what gets attention. Now, number 6 is the lifestyle factor. Now let's talk about the lifestyle. This is where Virginia Beach and Chesapeake really separate. Virginia Beach often wins with lifestyle branding, beach access, restaurants, events, parks, outdoor living, coastal energy, established neighborhoods, military convenience. A lot of buyers have an emotional picture in their mind when they hear Virginia Beach. And Chesapeake often wins with livability, like space, yards, neighborhoods, quiet streets, suburban feel, a little more room, a different pace. For sellers, you need to understand which story your home fits in. If you try and sell a Chesapeake home like it is a Virginia Beach lifestyle property, the message may miss. And if you try to sell a Virginia Beach home only on square footage, you may miss the lifestyle value. The marketing has to match the city and the buyer. For example, a Virginia Beach listing should not just say 4 bedrooms, updated kitchen, fenced backyard. It may need to say located in a convenient Virginia Beach area close to shopping, restaurants, parks, and daily needs. This gives home buyers the lifestyle and location many Hampton Roads buyers are looking for. A Chesapeake listing should not just say 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, large lot. It may need to say this Chesapeake home offers the space, neighborhood feel, and everyday convenience buyers are looking for when they want more room without giving up access to Hampton Roads. That is a different message. That is called positioning. And positioning matters that much because buyers are emotional first and logical second. They need to feel the value before they can justify the price. Now, if you are thinking about selling in Virginia Beach or Chesapeake or anywhere in the Hampton Roads, please just comment the word city below and I'll send you a simple city comparison sheet that shows how sellers can think through buyer attention, local competition, lifestyle appeal, and positioning before they list. It is not just about guessing. It is about knowing what buyers may be comparing your home against before you live. Now, like I said, just comment the word city and I'll send it over to you right now. Now, number 7 is why sellers should watch both cities. Now, here is one of the biggest practical tips in this video. If you are selling in Virginia Beach, you should be watching Chesapeake. And if you are selling in Chesapeake, you should be watching Virginia Beach. Why? Because buyers are watching both. Now, not every buyer is comparing both cities. Some buyers are locked into a specific school zone, commute, or lifestyle. But many buyers in Hampton Roads do compare across city lines, especially if they are relocating, if they are military, if they are moving from out of state, especially if they are looking online before they truly understand the area. They may not fully know the difference between Virginia Beach and Chesapeake at first. They just know the price range, bedroom count, and general area. Then they start comparing. And when they compare your listing, it needs to stand out. That is why sellers should look at active competition, pending homes, recent price reductions, and recently sold homes, not just in their own neighborhood, but also across nearby city areas. This does not mean you ignore the comps. It means you understand the buyer's screen. Because buyers are not looking at homes the way sellers look at homes. A seller may say, this house down the street sold for this amount. But a buyer may say, for that same money, I can get this other house 20 minutes away. That is the reality of the market. And the home that wins is usually the one that gives the clearest value. Now, sometimes that value is price. Sometimes it's condition. Sometimes it is location. Sometimes it's the lifestyle. And sometimes it is space and convenience. But the buyer has to see it. Now, number 8 is how Virginia Beach sellers should position their homes. Now, if you are selling in Virginia Beach, here's what I would focus on. First, identify your location advantage. Are you close to the beach? Are you close to town center? Are you close to military bases? Or are you in a well-known neighborhood? Are you near parks, shopping, schools, or major roads? Or are you in a more rural part of Virginia Beach like Pungo or close to Sandbridge? Now, do not assume buyers understand the value. Spell it out for them. Second, highlight the lifestyle. Virginia Beach buyers often care about more than the house. They care about where they are going to live their life. So your photos, video, and description and marketing should help them imagine that. Now, third, be realistic about the space competition. If Chesapeake homes in your price range offer more square footage, bigger yards, you need to understand that. That does not mean you automatically lower your price, but it does mean you need to show why your location is worth it. And fourth, make condition count. If your Virginia Beach home is competing against larger homes elsewhere, condition becomes even more important. Buyers may accept less space if the home feels clean, updated, move-in ready, and located well. But if it is overpriced and dated, they may choose the larger home in Chesapeake. That is the danger. So Virginia Beach sellers need to be sharp on presentation, pricing, and location, and storytelling. Now, number 9 is how Chesapeake sellers should position their homes. So if you're selling in Chesapeake, your strategy may be a little bit different. First, highlight space and function. If your home has a large yard, flexible floor plan, garage space, storage, home office, or room for a growing family, that needs to be front and center. Second, highlight neighborhood feel. Buyers looking in Chesapeake often care about the day-to-day environment. Quiet streets, suburban feel, room to breathe, convenience without feeling too crowded. Third, be clear about access. Chesapeake is a large city geographically, so location inside Chesapeake matters. A buyer looking at Great Bridge may have a different lifestyle in mind than a buyer looking at Greenbrier, Hickory, Deep Creek, or Western Branch. Your marketing needs to explain the specific advantage of your area. And fourth, compete against Virginia Beach lifestyle. Some buyers may love the idea of Virginia Beach, but Chesapeake can win if the home offers more practical value. So your listing should answer, what does this home give the buyer that they may not get as easily in Virginia Beach? More yard, more space, a quieter setting, a different school zone, a better layout, a stronger work from home setup, a more comfortable pace. That is the story. And when you can tell that story clearly, Chesapeake homes can be very attractive to buyers who want functionality and lifestyle balance. Now, the biggest seller mistake is sellers making sellers are making in both cities is, even in a good market, presentation matters, pricing matters, marketing matters, positioning matters, buyer psychology matters. A buyer needs to know why your home is the best choice compared to everything else they can buy. And remember, everything else may include homes in another city. So if you're in Virginia Beach, the buyer may be comparing you to Chesapeake. If you are in Chesapeake, the buyer may be comparing you to Virginia Beach. That is why the old way of marketing a home is not enough. The old way is take pictures, put it on the MLS, write a basic description, and wait. The better way is this: identify the buyer, identify the competition, identify the lifestyle advantage, price it correctly, prepare it properly, and market the home and the location. Tell the story in a way buyers can actually care about your home. That is what creates strong buyer attention. Now, what sellers should do before listing. Now, before you list your home in Virginia Beach or Chesapeake, here are a few things I would look at. Number one, look at your direct neighborhood competition. Look at what is active, what is pending, what has sold, what has reduced the price, and number two, look at the nearby city competition. If your home is in Virginia Beach, what could a similar buyer get in Chesapeake? If your home is in Chesapeake, what could a similar buyer get in Virginia Beach? And number three is look at the lifestyle differences. What does your home offer that the other city does not? Number four is look at condition. If buyers have options, condition becomes a major deciding factor. Number five is look at the online presentation. Your first showing is online. If the pictures do not tell the story, buyers may need to come see the home in person. And number six is look at your pricing strategy. Do not price based only on what you want. Price based on what buyers can choose. That is the difference between hoping and positioning. Now, section 12 is the final takeaway of this video. So where are buyers actually looking? The answer is they are looking where the value, lifestyle, and daily life make the most sense. Virginia Beach often pulls buyers with lifestyle, coastal appeal, convenience, military access, established neighborhoods, and the name recognition of living in Virginia Beach. Chesapeake often pulls buyers with space, suburban feel, larger lots, quiet neighborhoods, and a different pace of life. Neither city wins every buyer, but each city wins the correct buyers. And that is exactly why sellers need to understand comparison. Because your home is not just competing against the home next door. It is competing against the life a buyer thinks they can have somewhere else. So, if you are selling in Virginia Beach, you need to know what your location is worth and how to market that lifestyle. And if you're selling in Chesapeake, you need to know what your space, neighborhood feel, and day-to-day convenience are worth. Now, when you understand that you do not just list your home, you position it, and that is how you attract better buyer attention in Hampton Roads. Now, if any of this interests you and you are having trouble, thinking about how you should position your home, or you'd like to know what its value is, please just reach out. All my information is in the description below. And if you want more information about this video, just comment the word city and I'll send that information over to you right now. Now, I'm Scott Stamper. Like I said, all my information is in the description. Please just hit like and hit subscribe if you like this video for more videos just like this. I'm Scott Stamper, the Cowboy Real Estate Agent, and I'll catch you down the road.